It's a 7-course meal.
Yeah.
Forks and knives, lots of glasses, wine glass, champagne glass. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है और इतना सा खाना रखा है, इतनी भूख लगी है, इतना सा खाना रखा है, and I must start. So one of the things I'm going to tell you that I learned official dinners पे especially, पेट भर के खा के जाओ घर से.
घर से हाथ से दाल चावल खाकर
मस्त
जाओ.
enjoy करके सब कर फिर जाओ डिनर पे.
होश ना खबर है, ये कैसा असर है? वैसे इनसे मिलने के बाद दिल का हाल कुछ ऐसा ही हो जाता है. She is a dream and my dream guest. She is the epitome of grace, elegance and an inspiration to all of us. On this episode of Sunday Brunch, I'm going to be enjoying a delicious meal with Sushmita Sen. Let's go. This is such a beautiful moment for us at Curly Tales. आप हमारे शो पर हैं, हम सब ने कुछ सही किया होगा.
You're so gracious, my love. And I love the fact that you finally invited me on your show because I've just heard from the little birdie that I'm going to get some sushi to eat. So very excited about that. Told you, don't bring up food.
Now on this show, we want to see you really binge on food and go all out.
Not a problem at all. Natural appetite for it.
So let me begin by asking you, कैसे हो आप? How are you?
Touch wood. Much better. Health is good. Heart is good. The frame of mind is good.
Yeah.
And this year has begun with a bang. So I just received actually the first ever award for 2 of my works. So Arya and Tali.
Wow.
Best actress just last night. So it feels good. I think it's a beautiful indication of the year to come.
Congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
मैं आपसे 10 साल पहले मिली थी. And I don't expect you to
ये
remember.
पहले क्यों नहीं बताया?
During the promotion of I Am She. Okay.
Oh.
Long back, I was working as a
yeah.
reporter in a news channel.
Oh.
And I remember you having a lasting impression on me. मतलब आप जब मुझसे मिले थे, मुझे अब भी वो याद है how you made me feel. My point is,
That's
how do
beautiful.
you always do that? Like any conversation with you just feels so much more meaningful and alive.
Why haven't we done this interview and met her before, guys? We had to do this way before. You know, it's a funny thing you bring that up because when I was growing up, my grandfather, then my father would always tell me this. Titan, that's my pet name. No matter what you achieve in your life, लोग आपका नाम भूल जाएंगे, आप कहाँ से हो वो भूल जाएंगे, आपने क्या अचीव किया था लाइफ में वो भी भूल जाएंगे, but they will remember always the way you made them feel. So if you have 5 minutes with someone or 5 hours or 5 years or a lifetime, never forget that life is about a feeling. So don't focus on the name when you can focus on the feeling. So the fact that you said that right now, I hope my dad sees this interview. He'd be proud.
No, and it's not just me. I have spoken to a lot of people here just to know, I had this experience and all of them said that they have the same experience.
Oh, how lovely. How
Yeah.
lovely. Baba.
I want to know, how is it possible to always remain this positive, this present in the moment? Because we are constantly busy, multitasking, doing so many things
Things,
together. Even
yeah.
when we are meeting somebody, we are not mindful. Yeah.
It is a lot of practice. It does not come naturally to anyone. And I have realized that my job, my life is a constant state of awareness. As a woman, it's a constant state of awareness. Lack of that can lead to someone misbehaving with you. That generic is that awareness. That mindfulness that you speak of, it is the one sure shot way of creating an energy in a room, in a country, in a space where you're protected by that, by your own awareness. And it does not just happen to come to you every morning. Every morning you get up and you make up your mind that, okay, I missed that. Why did I miss that?
Yeah.
You know, like for instance, I went through this, as you know, an entire phase of my life where I went through an autoimmune condition called Addison's disease. One of the biggest problems with that is brain fog. I ask you, well, what is your name? And then 2 seconds later, I ask you again, what is your name? I'm sorry. And then the person looks at you like, abhi to bataya tha. So as a public figure, that was something that bothered me a lot because I was suddenly not in my power to be aware and mindful. There was always this brain fog. So when it lifted and I
Yeah.
got better, I made it a business to ask people their names. I still do.
Wow.
More the merrier. Sabko naam पूछती हूँ. What is your name? And then I make sure that I remember them.
Wow.
And then when someone says, but you should not remember them, आप तो कितने लोगों से मिलते हो? And then I was like, sweet. But I feel happy knowing that I'm practicing it one way or another.
There's a lot to learn from you. But for now, we want to learn about you.
Okay, let's
Are
bring
you a
it.
foodie?
Oh, yes, I am. But not all kinds of food. Like, I don't experiment too much. I'm not one
Okay.
of those people. So I'll have certain favorites, then in and around it, or then some chachi, mami, masi, mama's friend or mama or somebody will
Yeah.
insist that I try something new. And then I'll go to a restaurant or try that or whatever. And then I might develop a taste for
Okay.
it. But I'm a loyalist. Where food is concerned, I'm a loyalist.
So you're one of those जो restaurant में जाएंगे पर order same dishes
Yeah.
करेंगे.
And
अच्छा.
pretty much like my daughters make fun of me. They'll go to any other restaurant anywhere in the world and then they'll be like, let me guess. Salmon tata. Tuna tata. Like if there is both, I will have both. These are the kind of foods, very fond of seafood.
Oh,
Bengali, so.
Yeah. So Bengali food, are there any favorites there?
Much in
Okay.
all forms,
Right.
except fried,
Okay.
with shorshe bata.
Right.
Mustard. Wow, that sounds so cool. Like I just had a very cool Bengali moment. And I'm very fond of mishti doi. Very, very fond. And I'm fond of shandesh.
Right.
But shandesh which is made with gur, not the one made with sugar.
Norin gur.
Norin gur.
Norin gur.
Oh, Shaba. You know Norin gur?
Do I qualify now as
No,
a
you
food
qualify.
blogger?
You definitely do. And the pronunciation
Yeah.
too. It's very good.
In the process of becoming a Miss Universe,
Yeah.
you would have had a session of grooming and table
Yes.
etiquettes and
Yes.
manners and all of that. So, can you educate our viewers a little on just table manners, or what did you learn as a part of this whole grooming session?
So actually, I didn't learn it before going for Miss Universe. After winning it,
After winning, okay.
they sent me to, so I was based out of Los Angeles, and they sent me to Mexico City in a place called Acapulco.
Okay.
And Acapulco had this beautiful place called Las Brisas, where the heads of state had come for this official dinner
Right.
in honor of the new Miss Universo. And I'm at head of the table. I'm 18 years old. I barely speak English.
Yeah.
I'm getting it together at that point. And Barbara, my travel manager, is sitting to my right. And on my left, and thereafter beyond Barbara, are all men. All men. And this is a 22-seater, 2 and 20.
Okay.
And now I'm starving. Like I'm starving. मुझे इतनी भूख लगी और मैं ना बार-बार की तरफ देख के I'm smiling. My travel manager like, do something. I'm very hungry. Then I bend over very like, I'm very hungry, Barbara. She's like, so are they. And you're the chief guest. You need to start. Oh. And then I just go, okay, now I'm looking at, it's a 7-course meal.
Yeah.
So forks and knives, lots of glasses, wine glass, champagne glass. कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है और इतना सा खाना रखा है, इतनी भूख लगी है, इतना सा खाना रखा है, and I must start. So the gentleman to my left, he was the tourism minister of Mexico. I still remember him very politely saying,
Yeah.
the right, inside, outside, inside. So I go, okay, are you sure? So then he says, yes. So Spanish tradition, Mexican tradition, we pick it up. And I say, bon appetit, which I'm not supposed to say anyway, but I've said it. And then I touch and they all attack their forks and knives. So this is when I went to Barbara and I came back to Miss Universe organization and I said, I need to learn.
Yeah.
Because I felt very out of place and I don't want to feel like this again. So they sent me to someone called as Miss Chow. She is in San Francisco and she's an etiquette teacher.
Okay.
And she spent 2 days with me, teaching me everything I needed to learn basically.
Right.
And then I got in my limo, we went around the block and I came back as if I was going to have a dinner with her. And then we had to do everything in that dinner, including eat. So one of the things I'm going to tell you that I learned from Miss Chow was, पेट भर के खा के जाओ घर से. टेबल तमीज बमीज बाद में आता है, पहले पेट भर के खाना खा के फिर जाओ, ताकि वहां पे जो है सबके सामने खाने की उत्सुकता नहीं होगी, यू नो, यू बी वेरी डेलिकेट अबाउट इट बिकॉज पेट भरा हुआ होगा, एंड देन यू जस्ट से नो मोर थैंक यू। तो सोच रहे हो क्या कितना डाइट करते हैं और कितना सही खाना खाते हैं। सो ऑल ऑफ दैट, फर्स्ट रूल। सेकंड रूल, व्हेन यू डोंट नो, wait, somebody else will start. Whatever they do, follow them. But just make sure you're not the chief guest.
घर से हाथ से दाल चावल खाकर
मस्त
जाओ।
enjoy करके सब कर, फिर जाओ डिनर पे, अनऑफिशियल डिनर्स पे स्पेशली।
Yeah.
हाँ, और छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं,
हाँ.
ये हम जो आवाजें करते हैं खाते वक्त वो नहीं करना चाहिए, एल्बो टेबल पे नहीं होना चाहिए, ये बड़े सारे नहीं होना चाहिए वाला सिस्टम है, उसमें खाने का टेस्ट खराब हो जाता है। तो बेसिकली हैव फन, फूड इज सपोज्ड टू बी an energizing experience, it's a romance. So if you go for these official things, just remember these basic rules. Best rule, घर से खाना खाओ।
Perfect. That's been our best learning. तो आपको खाना क्या खाना पसंद है घर पर और हाथ से खाना पसंद है? Do you use like at
नहीं,
home
मैं
or
हाथ
you
से
do?
खाती हूँ।
अच्छा।
हाँ, that's why the gel nails, easy to remove the turmeric,
हल्दी stains, yeah.
या फट से निकल आता है। लेकिन मुझे ये कांटेक्ट बहुत पसंद है।
Yeah. And food tastes better, no?
Yeah, it's my childhood.
Yeah.
Eating with my hand is my childhood. It keeps me grounded. It keeps me connected. And I'm very good with fork and knife.
Yeah.
I can really impress you with it. Like I really have mastered even noodles. I
Yeah.
would impress you. De-shelling of crab or shrimp, I would
Wow.
impress you. But you will never catch me do that unless I'm showing off.
और बच्चों को भी हाथ से खिलाने में मजा आता है. Have you fed your kids with?
बिल्कुल, 100%. So much so that Rene is 24 now.
Yeah.
Alisa is 14, going on 80, the younger one.
Yeah.
They both just sit there, go, you know, when you eat, mama, the food looks more delicious. So, matlab, khilao. So, to this day, they
Yeah.
get fed with hands. Always.
And which is your favorite cuisine?
I'm a big fan of sushi. I like Japanese sushi. I love chicken biryani.
Oh, okay.
Love,
Sushi
love.
and chicken biryani.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Sushi is my grown-up
Okay.
phase, and biryani is my childhood stuff. I think the fact that I was born in Hyderabad
Yeah.
brings in the biryani for me.
But today we are at a Pan Asian restaurant.
Mm.
So we're going to feed you with some sushi, dim sums.
One of the two favorites.
Yeah. Okay. So let's begin the Sunday brunch.
Voila.
We are at Go Jiating, known for really good Asian food. We've ordered a bunch of dishes for you. To start with, crispy prawn chung fung, exotic wet stir fry, an assorted dim sum basket, vegetarian and non-veg sushi platter.
Oh, that looks good. Really good.
So मैंने सुना है कि आप जब भी रेस्टोरेंट्स जाते हो,
जी.
आप
okay.
टबैस्को सॉस लेकर जाते हो in your bag.
I used to.
Really?
I used to because 7-8 साल पहले तक वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड में खाना ब्लैंड का ब्लैंड ही होता था. फिर I think the Thai culture, the Indian culture, we've introduced flavors.
But you like spicy food, is it?
I used to,
Yeah.
but now I like it spicy if it's chaat.
Chaat, okay.
Yeah, I really like chaat. एक तो Bengali and दूसरा I've lived in Delhi most of
Yeah.
my growing up years.
Yeah.
So the combination leads to is equal to chaat.
Yeah.
I love flavors more than spices now.
Yeah.
But there was a time when हरी मिर्ची ला दो, लाल मिर्च ला दो, बस. Happy.
So let me give you some choices, okay? This or
Okay.
that. Japanese sushi or Hyderabadi biryani.
No, that's not fair. I told you these two are my favorites. So Hyderabadi biryani.
Bengali sweets or Delhi chaat.
Depends on the mood.
Okay. Kolkata kathi roll or Delhi kebab platter.
Kolkata kathi roll.
Movies or OTT shows.
Currently OTT shows.
Okay. Morning person or a night owl.
Night owl.
Beaches or mountains.
Mountains.
Books or movies.
Oh, that's tough. Movies.
Yoga or gym workout.
Yoga forever.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
Gym workout sometimes.
Cooking at home or dining out.
No, dining out.
You can cook, I'm
No,
just asking.
I can
now.
boil water. But I'm a damn good critique of food.
Okay.
It's amazing how that works. Like I can also sometimes taste certain foods and tell you कि इसमें क्या क्या होगा types.
हाँ.
So my mother gets maha impressed. खाना बनाना आता नहीं है, मगर taste करके बोली ये अच्छा नहीं बना है, वो बहुत अच्छा बना है. So no, like my dad said, जब इसकी शादी होगी, he used to tell me this at home. तो मैं अपना घर बहुत दूर बनाऊंगा, नहीं तो इसके इन-लॉज रोज फोन करके बोलेंगे इसको ये नहीं आता, उसको वो नहीं आता, उसको कुछ नहीं आता. So then I'd say, I'm going to have a cook, Daddy. He said, really? You're going to have a cook now? You don't want to learn cooking? No. I'm going to get a cook. And I did.
Yeah.
Every time he comes to Bombay, I'm just like, look, cook.
Okay. Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Are you spontaneous or very, very organized with your schedule, planning, everything?
I am very, very organized with planning and everything on a general basis, but in the moment, I'm spontaneous.
Because you're from Kolkata and Delhi, puchka ya golgappa?
Puchka.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah. No, you have to understand, I'm Delhi wali. I'm Hyderabad wali. Because my dad was in the Air Force, हर 3 साल में पोस्टिंग होती रहती थी. Till my mother put her foot down and said, दिल्ली के आगे हम नहीं जाएंगे. तो आपकी अगली पोस्टिंग was Agra. आप अकेले जाओ. Then he took a premature retirement after. So then we settled down in Delhi. I've lived and been a part of parts of India that are not your typical cosmopolitan cities. I've lived in Nagaland. I've lived in Shillong. I've lived, growing up years, all over India in different places. There's a certain ethos to that belonging where you need to adapt to these different places. And you do so naturally because from a very young age, that's been your life. So when I move around now, whether it's food, it's people or whatever, I belong like this.
Perks of coming from a defense family, where you keep
Thank
moving
God,
homes.
Thank God for that. I think the discipline in my life, the love of my country, everything has come from my dad. 7 बजे वापस. But Daddy, I want to go to a nightclub. 7 बजे वापस आ जाऊंगी तो फिर nightclub कैसे जाऊंगी तो? Nightclub की problem? They should open and shut by 7. So that was my strict father. And through this journey and that discipline, I think he taught me some very valuable lessons that I have carried forward.
फिर छुपकर नाइट क्लब जाते थे?
बिल्कुल, पापा को भी पता है अब तो. Now I confidently say it. No, और सबसे मजे वाली बात, ये छुप के जब हम नाइट क्लब गए, वहीं पे तो मुझे डिस्कवर किया गया.
I know.
For Miss India. तो अब उधर पोल खुल गई क्योंकि पापा को बताना पड़ा कि ये मिले कहाँ जनाब. So once we told him about it, he's like, "What? You were in a nightclub? You were not at Mona's house studying?" I said, "No, we were in a nightclub with Mona, but in a nightclub."
Talking about Arya, we saw you on screen after a really long break.
Yes.
और उसके बाद season after season, अब season का part 2 भी आ रहा है अंतिम बार. I've been such a big fan and I'm not just saying it because you are here in front of me.
I'm so happy.
The same night I binge watched and finished all the shows. तो मैं जानना चाहती हूँ where is this launching firstly and what's going to happen in this one?
So this is season 3 of Arya.
Right.
इसमें से पहले 4 episodes
आ चुके हैं.
आ चुके हैं. Season वही है. It's season 3. This is what you should expect from the last 4. Human spirit against all odds. And she's a mother.
Yeah.
That's shavni enough for me. So yeah, you put her in an impossible position and till her dying moment, she will fight.
You took a long break of about good 7 to 8 years before you took
Yes,
Arya.
8 years.
What took you so long? Did motherhood consume you? What
Yeah,
was
so
it?
motherhood consumed me consciously this time. Because Renee was already born and she was already my daughter and she was already, but I was filming continuously throughout her initial 4-5 years. I didn't like the effect it had on her. I just didn't like it, and I was like a conscious decision that I'm not going to do that again with Alisa. And all the films had dried up. There was nothing to look forward to. Those were the times when people looked at it still and say, now she's old, now what character, maybe mother, maybe at some point something. And I'm just like, I want to work. I don't want to get into this.
Yeah.
So this is not feeling right. What is feeling right? My child's childhood will not come back. I'm going to invest it here. उसके बाद अगर nobody wants to give me work, I'll go do some other work. काम तो मैं करूँगी, जिंदगी भर करूँगी. That's just something that I am built to do. I have to work.
Yeah.
Financial independence important, everything important to me. So I went ahead and just became a hands-on mom for 8 long years till my that 8-year-old child turned around and said, "Hey, photo क्यों लेते हैं आपके साथ सब?" I was just like, seriously, I'm famous. Doing what?
Okay.
Point blank, and that honesty was like a nice danda on the back and said, "Come on, get back to work, mom. I don't need you. Please work. Don't make me an excuse." That's Alisa for you. Like I said, she's
Yeah.
14 going on 80. It was nice that I got Arya right after, and I have never trained for something as hard as I did for Arya.
And it really suits you. You know,
Yeah.
this character really suits you. It's like almost meant for you.
Credit to Ram Madhvani, because a director sometimes gets too attached to a script that he's written and he doesn't want to change anything. But when you cast an actor, you have to change things.
Yeah.
And he became open to the idea of, no, let's bring the truth in. Let's bring that part of Sushmita into Arya that belongs to the story. Only that part. And then let Sushmita be comfortable playing Arya, not try and fight to be her.
Yeah.
And that marriage is why it looks so honest. It's not me. Arya is not me in so many ways.
Have you ever wondered if you were not an actor? आप क्या कर रहे होते अभी?
Whoa, no. I can't imagine it. Because पहले मैं actor बनना नहीं चाहती थी. So I used to think, कि क्या करते हैं? How can you sing and dance and all? I was so embarrassed when I became an actor. I was like, कौन ऐसे बात करता है और फिर कौन जाके actor बनता है? But no, I didn't want to be an actor. So when I became one, and I realized that, my God, this is an art form, and you don't know anything about it. So I started from scratch, and I learned on the job.
Also unlearned, right? इतनी grooming हो गई है. You've become like a perfectionist and like
That's
such a
the
lady
first day of
like.
shoot. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You're so groomed, so proper. Someone tells you to raise your voice and give somebody a gali, and you're like, "Hi, मैं कैसे बोलूं? I can't do that." And if you try it also, it's in this tone. But that letting go also comes more with age and with experience.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Again, I have read these interviews where you mentioned that you could only speak broken English,
That's
right?
true.
Even when you participated
At Miss Universe.
At Miss Universe. आज भी ऐसे बहुत से लोग हैं जो इंग्लिश बोलना चाहते हैं पर बोल नहीं पाते हैं. And that's where they lack confidence.
भाषा कोई भी हो, डंके की चोट पे बोलनी चाहिए. बहुत ज़रूरी है. इंग्लिश सीखना है सीखो, नहीं सीखना है मत सीखो. लेकिन जो भी भाषा को आप बोलो उससे कॉन्फिडेंस से बोलो. तो अगर आपकी भाषा किसी को समझ में नहीं आएगी, आपका फीलिंग समझ में आ जाएगा. तो you'll communicate what you're trying to say. So I think they should not feel that way, but it's easier said than done. I know that feeling also.
आपने कैसे सीखी? I want to know, what did you do? What was your process of learning that language?
I think what really helped me was everybody made it mandatory that सिर्फ इंग्लिश में बात करेंगे सब मेरे साथ. So the whole Miss Universe organization only spoke in English, complicated English. Then I'd say, I didn't understand that word. Write it down. Please find out what that word means. It's called vocabulary. ऐसे ऐसे करके. Finally, communication skill English थोड़ा बहुत सीखने के बाद came from editors of New York Post, editor of Boston Globe. Every week I'd have a different editor come and interview me, just for fun. ये कहीं पे छप नहीं रहा था, कुछ नहीं. Just to see कि ज़बान को अब आप कितने confidently communicate कर सकते हो. And they'd sit in a room and just watch me being interviewed. और वो पता होता था कि interview कहीं नहीं छपेगी. But you would have a conversation. So I learned from some very good people.
It's a great learning experience to just participate in a beauty pageant.
I'm telling you, what I thought a beauty pageant was, this was a school. It was a finishing school for me. And because it happened at 18, it set me up for life.
I want to know, was it difficult to get work after 8 long years?
It would have been had I not gone with the right attitude. I have done 30 movies, I have done hit songs and all. That was not my attitude. I was like, I just need to unlearn and learn, and I need someone to give me that opportunity. So I made the calls myself to everybody.
You did it yourself?
Yeah, I did it myself.
No ego?
No ego. If you're going to want to learn something from someone, anyone, you can't start that on an ego. You may end on it, but you cannot start with it. So I went but with a lot of self-respect. I was like, whatever time you need, you need 6 months, you need 8 months, whatever you need. I just want the best thing. And I think, Only caveat, it has to be author backed. That I want. This I want to come back with. It has to be something that gets me excited to get up in the morning and say, I want to do this. Arya was that.
And were you also clear that OTT and not films? Or were you open to everything?
At that point,
Yeah.
OTT actually had me more excited because I was
Yes.
like, look at what the actors are getting to do.
That's true.
And who is this actor? I've never seen this actor
Yeah.
before. Who was that? So then I know they're from theatre, or this one has just entered, or
Yeah.
this actor's from television. I had never seen them before.
It's like a
And they're
powerhouse of
mind-blowing.
talent.
And you have 8 episodes of 45 minutes each to see that talent. And OTT gave me that. Thank God for it.
Yeah.
Because I love this space. I love it.
We are glad it worked out.
Yes,
We get to binge
me
watch on a
too.
show like Arya.
Thank you.
You did mention about, people saying abhi isko aise hi role milenge, maa ke role milega ye. I want to know, as you age, or all of us for that matter, and you being a public figure, did you at any point or even now, do you ever feel like, of course your body changes, the way you look changes as
Everything.
you...
Oof. Tell me about it.
How can one accept it gracefully? Secondly, did it bother you at any level?
It bothers you when you're very young.
Hmm.
But experience teaches you that public opinion
Yeah.
or others' perception of you is
Yeah.
very transient.
Yeah.
Today it's stunning, tomorrow look at her, look
Yeah.
at what she's done to herself. Very transient. And they don't know what you're going through. And that's when I learned to stand up for other people as well. Jaane dena yaar. When you look at yourself in the mirror, who do you
Yeah.
see?
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Yeah.
जाने देना क्या फर्क पड़ता है
Yeah.
फर्क पड़ता है till a certain point after a point कितना आप बोलोगे बस थक जाता है इंसान पे बोलते sounds like a joke must be something oh it's old news next
Yeah.
but you have to look after yourself
And I think women need to love themselves a lot more. They probably don't. I want to know, do
Yeah.
you have like a daily practice or anything that you do as self-love?
oh no not daily practice every moment of my life I'm conscious of it I'm very conscious of it first thumb rule of self-love you cannot carry baggage of things that you regretted or you did wrong you apologize you move on that's self-love it's acceptance which is led by forgiveness. If you love yourself, you learn to forgive other people automatically. And you don't carry their baggage also.
Yeah.
And it's a fabulously comfortable place to be because you learn to be accepting on so many levels as a woman, especially because your life from birth is decided and defined as सबके लिए जीना है it's as if it's one sorry but I don't agree with that अगर खुद के लिए नहीं जी सके तो किसी के लिए नहीं जी पाओगे कितनी भी कोशिश करोगे करते हैं बहुत लोग करते हैं but they're never happy with it because it's a
Yeah.
thankless job
Yeah.
so thank yourself enough
Yeah.
and then do the job
बिल्कुल. और अपनी हेल्थ का ख्याल रखना.
Ah,
It is
wow.
again, so important. You recently had an incident.
yeah
I want to know what are the steps that you're taking now to take care of your health, जिससे हम सब सीख सकें.
overall I've always been pretty aware of my health and I think that my mother my father both are heart patients so we've always been genetically aware and testing ourselves so we had a fabulous report for the heart 6 months prior to the actual heart attack but it did happen a lot of our environment a lot of things that have happened COVID that has come and gone a lot of things have changed a lot which is not easy to explain at this moment. But if you ask me about my lifestyle, I celebrate life. I have always been a happy person, so that really helped
Yeah.
through this crisis because I was laughing even on the OT table.
Really?
Yeah. We were joking, me and my doctor. I had a really
Huh.
fun doctor. So we were just looking at the angioplasty happening and we really had a terrific time. I think if you remember at the end of the day to listen to your body, I think that's it. पेट भर गया लेकिन खाना इतना टेस्टी है और चाहिए just listen to your body भर गया ना जाने दो कल खा लेना something tells me I need to start walking it's your body talking to you listen to your body because I had indicative knowing which I did not act on so the body talks to you it tells you and then suddenly what happens hasn't really happened suddenly.
Yeah.
It was warning you all throughout. So look after yourself. Listen to your body.
Before we let you go, we are a travel platform as well. I want to know, what does travel mean to you? आपकी
Everything.
favorite जगह कौन सी है?
Everything. I mean, I genuinely, there was a time when I used to tell in all my interviews that I have to make money because I need to travel.
Oh, okay.
That's it. बैंक में saving वेविंग नहीं चाहिए. मुझे travel करना है. And I'm not the backpacking type, so I need to make money to travel.
Luxurious travel.
Luxurious travel.
Okay.
And I like luxurious travel. And when you go on a trip,
Yeah.
you want to explore things.
Yeah.
If I need to go and explore them the way I like to explore them, then I better go earn my paycheck quickly and multiple times to make that happen. So I do love traveling. It is my retirement plan.
Okay.
That I will see all different parts of the world that I have in my bucket list that I haven't done yet. My favorite places, well, they're difficult to say. I'm very fond of outskirts. Like, I'm very fond of not cosmopolitan cities, all of them,
Right.
but outskirts of the French Riviera. I love south of France. I love outskirts of Italian Postino.
Wow.
Yeah, I love Sardinia. I think it's one of the most beautiful, quaint places.
What about India?
Down south, backwaters.
Yeah.
A lot of my family friends are from Kerala.
Yeah.
So there are places that I'm sure none of you have been to, that Srijaya will just list for you, and like you'll be like, what? This is India? It's so beautiful. I love Rajasthan.
Yes.
I
it is.
love Rajasthan.
Your show
that-
is also based out of Rajasthan only, right?
I actually explored Rajasthan more because of Arya, and that's where that romance started. I love up north.
Yeah.
I'm very fond of the mountains. So mountains everywhere, all the hill stations, big fan. I love Goa.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
I'm sorry, but it's just home and Goa. And I love driving. So I drive the 600 kilometers to
You
Goa
drive
myself.
always?
Yes.
I've done that once.
I find out that I'm not shooting for the next 5 days.
Yeah.
I wake up my kids, I put them in the car and we drive.
Wow. तो किसी आज आपके साथ ब्रंच किया है, किसी टाइम आपके साथ ट्रैवल शो भी करेंगे, hopefully.
Goa chalna hai? Chalo.
Chalo.
I'm driving.
I would love to be on the passenger seat.
You-
Playlist की responsibility मेरी.
Amazing. No, playlist bhi hum aapko denge. And you will be like, what is that track? Show me that song. I promise you.
तो
Amazing
मैप
music.
मुझे देखना पड़ेगा. मेरी कोई responsibility है इस road trip पर?
आप सिर्फ enjoy करेंगी.
Okay,
Oh,
amazing.
one responsibility you have. The moonroof opens, you stick yourself
Oh.
out and you enjoy the Western Ghats.
This is sounding too good to be true, but hopefully next time that's what we are going to be doing.
Done.
Wonderful talking to you.
Thank you
so
for this
much for your
wonderful
company.
meal and this gorgeous company.
Thank you so much. और ये सब अभी हमें खत्म करना है.
Okay then people, this is when we actually chew on the food with our hands. So enough of this guy. Bye-bye.